are members because you want to be here to make money. And it's all about creating credibility. So one of the things we're going to talk about is how does a member actually make money in BNI? And that's really going to be the focus. I don't know if I've ever touched on this with this chapter or not, but are any of you familiar with this confidence curve? How about show of hands? Well, a fair number of people. Really what it's all about, for those that are not familiar with it, is that as a member, what you want to do is you want to create confidence, and confidence within the whole chapter. And the more confidence you create, the higher up the confidence curve you go. And the way that works is that when you first start out, you really haven't created a lot of confidence amongst the group, and therefore, the only kind of referrals that you're typically going to get is a referral from a member themselves, because the whole concept is that if that referral goes wrong, then it's only going to affect me as the member and you as the one I gave the referral for. So it's kind of a very safe bet. You're not sticking your neck out there very much. As time goes on, you work your way up the confidence curve, and you get to tier 2, and tier 2 is you're now confident enough with that member to actually give them a referral for somebody outside of the chapter, because now I'm sticking my neck out a little bit. If it goes right, I look like a hero, but if it goes wrong, that person is going to come back to me and say, why in the world did you refer me to that person? The person's a real jerk. So, or it didn't work, or they don't follow up, or what have you. So as you create more confidence in your membership here, you have members that begin to trust you more and give you referrals outside of the group. And then ultimately, when you really have tremendous credibility, you're actually creating confidence not only in the membership, but you're creating confidence in the people that you get referrals for. So now you've got customers out there that feel so good about you that they think you're over the moon, and they too refer you to other people. And that's kind of the utopia, right? Because now you're getting referrals from members. You're getting referrals from members that are giving you their contacts from outside, and you're ultimately, these contacts from outside like you so much that they're giving you referrals too. So what you do is you have to work your way up the confidence curve if you want to be successful in BNI and if you want to create money in BNI. You do that in a lot of different ways. You do that every single meeting, and you do that even when you leave the meeting. And what I mean by that is I give you a referral and you do a really stellar job about it, and then a following meeting comes along and you actually give a testimonial about how that referral went, about that member. All of a sudden you're creating credibility within the group, right? On occasion, you will have given a referral to somebody outside the group or even for yourself, and it doesn't go well. And you have a few friends within BNI, and you start belly aching about how that went pretty bad, how the person just doesn't seem to follow up. And where do you wind up on the confidence curve now? You start sliding back down, right? And so every time you are asked to do something, every time you get a referral, if you follow up and do a really good job on it, you go up the curve. If you're not following up or you're not doing a good job, you're going down the curve. And everything else you do, if you're here all the time and you're active in the meeting and you create confidence because people think you're really engaged in BNI, you go up the curve. If you're absent all the time, or people get the sense that you don't really want to be here, you go down the curve. If you're late all the time, and I'm here all the time on time, you go down the curve. If you're here all the time welcoming everybody with enthusiasm, you go up the curve. So you see how it works? Everything you do, your 60-second commercial that you just did, you can go up and down the curve. You can also go up and down the curve in your 10-minute presentation, which is really what we're going to talk about now. Everybody understand the concept? I'm a little bit old school. I've been in BNI for 7 years. And it's always been 10-minute presentation, but they keep changing the words. So now it's the member showcase presentation. So that's the new word for it. One of the things that is very, very common in all of our chapters is that people get into the habit of doing their presentation. And what they're doing is they're selling to the membership. And you're not really here to sell to the membership. Think of it a little differently. Think of it that you're the director of sales, and this is my sales team. So I don't really have to sell too much to my sales team. You're going to touch on it. You're going to explain a little bit, about the product and what you do and everything. But what you're really going to do is establish how you can give them the license or the authority or the knowledge to find you referrals, right? Just like a sales manager, I'm not that interested in teaching you about my business and selling you my product, but I'm really interested in teaching you how to find us more business and bring it in. So it's a little bit of a change of focus, all right? And that's one of the things that it happens a lot of times, that you're not, most people try to sell, and what you're really doing is establishing credibility. And ultimately, we'll touch on it in just a second, the one thing that often happens is that when you're done with your presentation, what's really, really key is that you educate the group as to how to find you referrals. And there's a whole bunch of ways to do that. But you don't want to do a presentation and teach everybody. I was at one, not this chapter, so even if it happened in this chapter, it's not what I'm referring to. I had one that was a floor covering, carpets, tiles, and so on. And we spent the whole 10 minutes looking at tile and carpet samples. Well, at the end of the day, I don't really care. I don't care about your tile and carpet samples. What I care a lot about is who you are, how well you do, how much credibility you have in the industry. Tell me some of the great stories that you had, the success stories. Tell me something about the work that you've actually done. Help me become much more confident in you. I know you've got samples. I hope you have samples, but that's not what I need. I don't need you to pass on. I completely agree with props. I do props all the time, but a prop is very different than passing out 35 examples of carpets and tiles. All right, so you can see the difference. There's a shift between, I'm not teaching you about